Well, hello again everyone, welcome back, and here we are once again at the model table rather than filming skeletal drummers down a street somewhere. So there we go, that's just a reference to my previous video for those of you who haven't watched it. Do go along and have a look. Thanks very much, I'm going to say at the start, to all my subscribers, people who come along time after time and watch my videos despite the dullness of my voice. I'm always delighted when you come along, so thanks very much. And to new subscribers, thanks very much. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I think it's sort of down in this corner here somewhere, it comes up and it's my little lilac logo there. Sorry, I've always wanted to do that finger pointing thing. It's quite fun, isn't it? So anyway, here we are. I'm going to take the masks off the roundels of the Spitfire and also the fin flashes. We'll take a look and see how they went. Now, as you can see, I can't see them any better than you can because I've just recently done them, so this is going to be a surprise for all of us. So there are some tweezers here which I'm going to have to be very careful with, but I'm going to have all of this lot off one bit after another. So let's start with the nearest one here and just draw off the outer masking, which I put on as a safety measure. Now this stuff's been down for a couple of weeks actually, because of various things that have gone on, and I'll put that in my bin there, and then we can take off these other little sections here. When these things are square, it's quite easy to whip them off actually, hopefully. So we'll gently pull them away. As you can see, we pull away all the masks at once. I'm going to be very careful with this. Sometimes they come away all at once, sometimes they don't. I'm going to be very, very careful and see how we go. The most important thing is, are they in register? Are the markings in the right place? And this is going to be the first one to take a look at here. Yeah, they're not quite, are they? So it's looking at that in a more detailed fashion. You can see it's this is slightly further up than it wants to be. It's not a long way, but it's close, but not quite there. And it's slightly further across to this way than it needs to be as well, so it's not really quite as good as we might have wanted it. But anyway, look, let's carry on anyway. Zero out, and just turn this one round, take the okay, so here we go. I've got the top mask off this time and not the bottom one, so what we'll do is we'll fetch that off carefully all at once and have that away, and then just fetch this one away. Should be able to tell us whether we've got these exactly right or not. So that one is much the same in terms of it's slightly further forward than it needs to be and further that way than it needs to be, so it's not quite straight. So this, I've made a bit of a bog up of that, to be honest with you, by the look of it. I mean, it's not, I suppose from arm's length it wouldn't be noticeable. I think if one looked at it in any detail though, it probably would be, to be honest. So let's move on. Let's go and do this one and see where we go. So we can pull these off, and as each layer comes off, of course, you expose the mask from the previous layer. So there's the first one. Can we pull the second? Oh no, we can't pull the second one off as a separate one, but let's pull the third one off. And that gives us the whole roundel then. 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 And that gives us the whole ro can pull away the last one. Oh, hang on, I've pulled off the I put a mask on the running light there, as you can see, as I'm going to have to replace that mask on the running light, so I can't throw this mask away very quickly. But I'd say that looks alright, to be honest with you. There's a bit of bleed through there, but since the I've got to keep that one. Let's put that down there out of the way. I want to keep that. I'd say there's a little bit of bleed through on the top, but I'd say that's okay. It looks not bad at all. And because it's a curved surface, it hides any slightly out of register. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that one. That's a positive one. Maybe I'll have to cover these wing roundels with the cartograph decals. That might be my only solution. That would be a shame, but it would be a great shame actually, because the marking itself is, as I say, it lacks any sort of depth at all. It's fabulous. I mean, it does look really convincing, I have to say. Anyway, let's go to these fin flashes, because these are relatively complex to do. So let's just pull away the outside masking here and see what we can expose in the way of okay, there we go. I'm going to have to pull this away a bit at a time, I suspect. Let's just zero out a minute and then I seem to be having some trouble with this. There we go. Let's drop that down there. Right, there we go. Now it's 132 scale models again. I'm bashing the thing against stuff, so that's something to be careful of. Don't know, you may be able to hear it's rather rainy outside and windy and so on, so it's not weather that's conducive to the playing of cricket, which some of you know is what I do on a Saturday during the summer months, so that won't be happening today. Or hasn't happened today, it got cancelled owing to this, so I'm now sat at the modelling desk carefully trying not to scratch stuff. So there's the blue. Oh, there you are then. There's a fin flash for you. Painted on. And let's go with the other one. As you can see, we've pulled most of the tape off already, so let's oh, hello, that seems to have a bit of a white border around it. So I'm going to have to touch that in. So that one's got a white border around it on the starboard side. That wasn't quite what we wanted, that's a shame. But the port side one has turned out, I'd say, really rather nicely. That's not bad at all. The port side fuselage roundel looks pretty good, I'd say. This roundel is, at first glance, looks okay, and again looks okay, but they're not quite in register. But let's go back to arm's length and see what we think. I mean, it looks okay. They don't look bad. In fact, actually, that one's slightly further, looks slightly further forward than that one. That one's slightly nearer the aileron. Yeah, you can see that there. I'm being hypercritical here, but I think it's important to be so. Let's go right in there so you can see that's the distance on the port side. Then we go across the starboard side and you can see the distance is less. And I mean, the demarcation lines on the masking is pretty good. So the advice not to wet the mask when you're painting is really useful. And as you can see, as I say, there's really no depth, and under some matte varnish that would look really, I think, quite good. You know, no carrier film to deal with or anything like that. But I have to say I'm particularly pleased with that fuselage roundel. That's really quite good, that. So what do I put this down to? Lack of experience on my part, slightly not really aware of what I was doing. Is it something I'd still recommend? Oh, absolutely, certainly, no question about that. I'd certainly recommend doing roundels this way. I think the end result, if you get it right, is absolutely terrific. I think that would be absolutely marvellous, and I think that would come out beautifully. But what remains to me to do is the lettering here, the DW marking. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to lift this one and move it slightly further forwards because it's not really in the right place. This one I'll paint because I know that it is in the right place. And then I'm going to lift these completely and then put the fuselage roundel on here and move this cage slightly because it's pointing backwards, and then work again. I think what I would advise people to do if they're going to do this for themselves, put the fuselage roundel on, make sure you get that absolutely in the right place, and that's quite easy to do because you have this radio access panel here, and you can wind it up on that there, using that as your finder, as it were, and then get that in and then put the lettering in afterwards. So I think that would be the way forward. But there you are. Bit of touching in on this fin flash. This one I think looks pretty good. I'm quite pleased with the result of that one, and I can touch that in, and it says here you'll never notice. So that's not a problem, but I need to investigate how it is that I managed to get that fin flash in that fashion like that. But I think they're really even, they look really good then. I think that's not bad at all. So there we go. That's just about it for the Kotare. I'll do a final thing in a few weeks' time with it all done and dusted, and I shall let you into whether I put the roundels on the wings, you know, the cartograph roundels on the wings, and we'll take it from there. But hopefully there's some lessons for you all there. I hope. I've learnt some today, you know, over the course of doing this. I think the next one-man army mask set I do, seem to have lost my words for a minute there. The next one-man army mask set I do, I'll be better at it than I was this time. So thoroughly recommend this product. I think when you get it right, you know, the result looks absolutely outstanding. I mean, that really does look good, and I'm very pleased with that one as well. That's come out very nicely. In fact, what I've just noticed here is I haven't quite painted that blue in there. Look, you can just see in there. Let's just zero in on that. You can just about see that, I think. You see that little yellow shadow coming up there? Not quite got the blue in, but hey, look, you know, it's imperfect. Maybe I can claim that the people who painted it in the Second World War didn't do it perfectly. Possibly I can. Answers on a postcard, please. But thanks once again for watching. Much appreciate your time. And here's more real world modelling. Struggles to make things real and struggles to make it right, but that's what we do here. I'll see you the next time. Take care until then. Bye bye for now.